You've probably just seen a bit of a montage of me setting up some supplies for a blog post that I'm doing for you guys. It'll probably be up either by the time this video has been posted or the day after. And a whole sort of idea has been bubbling around my head, and I've just been chatting to Maria about it. We love supplies. We love pretty things, carriers, leather, pencils, paint, you name it. We love pretty things, as I call myself a fancy magpie. And sometimes, and I think this has come about because I've had a bit of a buying bender, and I've been enabled, and I've enabled other people, and it's all a totally, what's the word? Fine, totally fine. I'm all down for really enabling people, I should say, and I'm also down for being enabled myself, because we all have different tastes, we all have different things that we love, and it's interesting that something that you love, I might love too. And that's all well and good. And then I saw on Instagram a post by Liz Earle. I'm pretty sure it's Liz Earle. I'll put her IG name up here. And she did an IG story, so it's gone, about packing for a trip and taking stock of, she's a watercolorist, she's an Aussie, and she took a photo, a flat lay photo of all the things she was packing for her trip. And obviously flat lay supply photos, I freaking love, just love them, because I'm obsessed with supplies. And she made notes in her journal or her sketchbook, wherever it was, about what they were. And then when she came back, she made notes about what she actually used. And it was so interesting. And I wish it was still on her IG stories, but it's gone. And it's been percolating in my brain for a few days. And I was just like, that's so interesting to document the things that you use and the things that you don't use. And she did this process so that she could know what to take next time, like overpacking and stuff. So Joy, this might be good for you as well, as you get ready for your trip, which is in 2 weeks. What do we use? Monthly favorites are fantastic. Love monthly favorites. But at the same time, I want to know the things that are workhorses, the things that you are constantly going back to, the things that we spend our money on and we think this is worth the money. I'm getting my money's worth out of this and this and this. So I'm going to do a YouTube series on it, because my poor YouTube channel is just getting a little bit of no love, unless it's a dab and party video. But it will only be a very, very short video, and it's more to document for myself. I was only going to do photographs, but I may turn it into a video series. I just need to know if I really want to commit to doing that, or whether I just want to do it the way I'm doing it in my head. So I have taken photographs, obviously for the blog post, but also for my own sort of documentation. I printed a couple of sizes because I didn't know if I wanted it large or small. And each month I want to flat lay out the supplies that I am using, and using more than once. And that is the key. It's no problem to say, oh, I got this supply, I used it for 30 seconds, and so I'm going to put it in the flat lay. I want to only pick up things that I'm using constantly throughout the month, and then put them in a flat lay, and then document it and make notes, so that I know that I know that things that I'm investing my money in are worth investing my money in, if you get what I mean. I'm using the same things over and over. Is it worth I just want to see how my likes change, how my supplies change. Do they stay the same? And to really be able to say to you, well, I used this for 6 months straight. I've got proof. Not so much proof, but like just for my own sort of experimentation, my own sort of curiosity. I want to see. I'm also doing carriers, because as you guys know that I'm obsessed with pouches, and at the moment the group is obsessed with pouches, and I don't blame you, because I just love them. But I wanted to know if I kept these, because I have so many pencil cases, and I'm always looking at pencil cases, pouches, cases, friggin' pen rolls, all those sorts of things. So I'm looking at all these things, and I want to know, am I really getting my money's worth, or am I just picking stuff that's currently trending? And it's sort of, I just want to do it for an experimentation thing. I want to actually do the supplies flat lay and the carrier flat lay for 12 months straight. And I want to photograph it, document it, and write notes about it. And I just think it would be so interesting to see a year's worth of supplies. What supplies I used in a year. Did they change? Did they ebb? Did they flow? Am I boring as heck and use the same things over and over? Does that mean that that supply is better? Or does that mean I just love using that supply? And so I made big photos. I want to see, I'm thinking about documenting this in its own journal. But did I make them too big for my A5? No, a little bit too big for my A5. I guess I could. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. So I might have to trim that down a little bit to put them in my A5. But I also printed small ones because I want to document them in one of my Moleskines and dedicate an actual Moleskine to my supplies so I can have them all in one place. But it's also part of my life. So this may be overkill to you guys, but I really want to document them singly in their own carrier, whether that be a Moleskine. I haven't worked out which sort of way I want to do it yet because it's a bit narrow. I could go that way. But I also want to integrate it into my life, and my life book is obviously my journal. So I want to do it in two places. Probably a lot less informative in my journal, probably just for like the pretty sake, but in the journal that I pick, or the notebook that I pick to put it in, I want there to be actual notes and things like that to see what I'm using and what sort of colors I want to swatch them out in the book and everything like that. I don't know, it's making my brain twist and turn, and it's interesting me. So that's why I thought I would come on here and chat to you guys about it, because it's part of my creative week. It's part of my brain processing, and it's sort of showing you how an idea can domino effect and turn into something completely different, and can turn into a project. So seeing something on Instagram and thinking that's a really smart idea for packing and art supplies, and then turning it into something that you can use as a documentation of a whole year, and then seeing if things have changed. I also took photos of what I was currently using book-wise. So I took a photo, as you guys saw in those videos, of this and my planner, but I also want to take photographs of the sketchbooks that I'm using this month, and to see if that changed, and to really almost scale down all the noise, and do it in a really clinical sort of under the microscope kind of way. I don't know, I feel like that would be so interesting to see. I don't know how I would film it for YouTube. As Maria said, keep it simple, because I was like, no, I need it to be really fancy and lovely because it'll be on YouTube, and she's like, no, you don't, you just need to get it done and show the process. But that's where my brain's at, and that's kind of where my head's at, making flat lays of supplies, not only for blog posts but for my own personal curiosity to see how my supplies are changing and shifting and all that sort of thing. So that's kind of where my head's at the moment. I might put the picture in the middle and then draw off there all those little bits and pieces. I might have to do it on a double spread though, because I feel like there won't be enough room. Or I can label them with letters and then put the letters down here. See, like this is how my brain's working and how it's ticking over and all that sort of thing. So I've also photographed my pouches and things. So this is currently what I'm using to carry or hold my supplies in June of 2017. And this will be the most interesting to see if in 12 months time, am I still using all these things or have I changed? Part of me thinks that the pen roll will be there still. And I don't know. I'm a magpie and I love carrying things. I love carriers. So this is what I'm going to do. I will make it a YouTube series, and they'll only be very short little videos, but I may do like the documenting process in a creative week video, like the journal pages and stuff for you guys, but just the general look at my actual supplies that I use will be on YouTube, because that channel needs some love. So yeah, so I'm just checking in. I'm just trying to talk you through that whole idea. I really love how they look. I need a bigger poster board because I also want to document collage fodder, because I'm using printed tissue paper a lot. I'm using ripped up bits of books. I'm using my stencils a lot. So there are more things than just this. But I need to go out to Officeworks and pick up a big ass white poster board to put on my tabletop, because at the moment I was working with two 12 by 12 pieces of paper, just to get an idea, just to see if this is worth going ahead. Is an idea worth bringing it to life, or is it just a fad? And so I want to make this I want to document it. I want to get clinical. I want to get really it just may be really random, but I'm really, really curious to see how my supplies change as I grow as an artist, as I enjoy different mediums, as different influences come into my life. Like the acrylic paint was definitely a By Bun influence, and I am absolutely adoring the paint, but will I be still using it in, you know, say next month when my flat lay is done again? So this is you guys saw me paint this. This is the Paper Artsy paint. I absolutely adore it, but will that paint carry on until the next month, or will there be something else? So it's kind of just to make me realize, are we just buying supplies for the sake of trends, or are we buying supplies because we need them? Obviously, I don't need any more supplies in my life. Definitely not. I am trying to save for New York and not doing a very good job at it. So this is kind of to show me what I'm actually using, like to prove to me, say my pink pencil. I've used that pink pencil since the day I bought it. I use it almost on a daily basis. That to me, that $3.75 pencil is totally worth it, and that's why I have backups. And I probably shouldn't have backups, but I lose everything. And my rubber, or my eraser, I've used that every day that I've had it. Those sorts of things. My TWSBI Mini, I use it to write in my journals. I use it to sketch sometimes. That sort of thing. So that this is kind of just research, creative research. So I need to stop talking now, but that's just a part of my week and sort of processing ideas, and will they turn into projects, or will they just be ideas that float away into the nether of never coming to fruition? And that's life. That's the artist life. Making ideas, creating ideas and making them bigger, or just throwing them aside. That's kind of where I'm at.